Hello. I just want to talk today about the 10 biggest workout mistakes and how we're going to fix them. So today I want to talk about something that frustrates a lot of people. People tell me all the time, I'm working out, but nothing is changing. I'm gaining weight instead of losing it. Does it sound familiar? My joints hurt. I feel exhausted. And all these reasons are why you're not working out. And here's the truth. Most people are not failing because they aren't trying hard enough. They're failing because they're making a few very common mistakes that sabotage results. I see them all the time. Every single morning when I'm at the gym, I see them, and I'm not judging. I simply want to step out of my lane and help people, but it's something that I made a goal for myself in 2026 was unless I'm asked, I don't offer it. So here's some common mistakes that I see with new gym members. Maybe you're a weekend warrior and that's the only time that you have to go to the gym. People in their 40s and 50s and they're not adapting to maybe menopause or just aging because our bodies are changing. Even experienced athletes are making the mistakes. Believe me, I've made my own. So never judging. I'm always ebbing and flowing to what's happening. The good news is that once you fix these mistakes, the body responds quickly. So today I want to walk through the 10 biggest workout mistakes I see and exactly how to fix them. I am live on Facebook and TikTok, so if you have any questions, feel free, put them in the comment section and I will do my best to answer them. And as always, you can email me, Cindy at drcindyross.com, and I will shoot you over my answers. Okay, let's get started. Mistake number 1, doing too much cardio. I grew up working out in the late 80s, 90s. I was a professional tennis player. Cardio. That's all we were ingrained. So it was nothing for me to spend 45 minutes doing cardio before I ever even touched a weight. So doing too much cardio is probably the most common mistake that I see, especially with women. And especially as we are aging and going into perimenopause and menopause, it is crucial that we're not doing too much cardio because it will sabotage the cortisol levels, your central nervous system, and it will cause your hormones to go out of balance even more than what they already are. So I would highly recommend navigating to walking more and really focus on lifting weights, heavy weights. People think if I want to lose weight, I need to do more cardio. So they do treadmill, the elliptical, spin classes, more running. But the problem is cardio alone does not build the metabolism. Muscle builds the metabolism. And when people rely only on cardio, they often lose muscle and slow their metabolism. That leads to fatigue, plateaus, stubborn body fat. And what works better? Strength training combined with moderate cardio. I would always focus on strength training first. Put your efforts there. Work out as hard as you can. And then dial it back with doing some walking, maybe light elliptical. I don't do any more than about 15-20 minutes a day. And I don't do that every day. I usually have one long cardio day, usually Mondays because that's my day off. And I will do something super light, but I will go longer, maybe 35-40 minutes. So just remember the body changes when you build that lean muscle tissue because muscle burns calories all day long. All right, mistake number 2, not lifting heavy enough. Do you know how many times I see in the mornings, I see these women coming in there and they're doing bicep curls with like 5 and 10 pounds. Even the guys, I see them. And they're working out with trainers and they're lifting so light. They're not building muscle. And I don't see, it's okay to lift light sometimes, but you need to be able to transition and have heavier weeks and lighter weeks. And if you aren't doing that, you're not progressively overloading, so you're not building that muscle. You have to exhaust the muscle. You have to tear it down for it to build. So if you are not lifting heavy enough, if you're easily getting in 8 to 10 reps, you need to go up on your weight. 15-20 reps. If you're just having like maybe a touch-up day, a Saturday, lighter weights are okay. But if you are really trying to change your body, lift heavy, especially for my menopause, perimenopause, and menopausal women. Lift heavy weights. Another mistake is when they're doing endless reps. Okay, I see this all the time. They're never really pushing the muscles. So if you have, I hear this all the time, I have 3 pounds at home, I have 5 pound dumbbells at home. You need heavier weights. So if that means you getting a gym membership, so be it. But you need to be lifting heavy weights. Men and women, your muscles adapt quickly. If you never challenge them, they have no reason to grow. And muscle growth happens when you create that progressive overload. That means gradually increasing your weight, your reps, intensity, time under tension. There's quite a few apps. I actually use one as well. Fitbod is one that I use. And I'm able to go in there and I put in my workout. And then I'm able to put the amount of weight I'm lifting and the amount of reps. And then that way, every week when I do that same workout, I can see that I'm progressively growing, right? Because my weight's going up, my reps are going up. So I highly recommend, if you're not tracking, remember you cannot manage what you're not measuring, so get an app. There's tons out there. Go into ChatGPT and ask what the best progressive overload app that there is that you can use. The goal is to stimulate the muscle enough that it says, I need to grow stronger. If you finish a set and you feel like that you could easily do 20 more reps, that weight is way too light. All right, mistake number 3, skipping strength training entirely. Many people are afraid of weights because they think, I don't want to get bulky, especially women. This is one of the biggest myths in fitness. Building significant muscle requires years of training, specific nutrition. Believe me, I know this. I'm eating 8 meals a day because I'm competing in September. I'm trying to put on muscle, and it is so much work. So if you're not putting in the amount of calories in, and you are not dialing into your nutrition with the amount of macros that you need, I promise you're not going to get bulky. If anything, you'll just get nice and toned, and you will love that look because it is a lot better than having the hanging, flabby skin. You're not going to get bulky often because you're not going to have the hormone support. A lot of people are not doing HRT, which I highly recommend. I just did a nutrition seminar the other night and for the community of Orange Beach, and I talked about HRT and how important it is. One of the biggest myths was it causes cancer. Well, the lack of hormones causes cancer. So all the new research studies are coming out saying the lack of hormones are causing cancer. So we want to make sure that our hormones are balanced. So if your hormones aren't balanced, I guarantee you're not going to put on the amount of muscle that you think that you're afraid of doing because you're going to get bulky. Strength training actually helps people become leaner. You're stronger. Metabolically, you're healthier. It improves bone density. That's one of the reasons I really started back training last year, is because I bounced back and forth between osteopenia and osteoporosis since my hysterectomy. I'm going to give my age away. I'm 48. I had it at 23. So for 10 years, I didn't do any hormone replacement because it was such a taboo thing to talk about. So I lost a lot of bone. So bone density has always been really important to me. So strength train. A lady asked me the other night during the nutrition seminar, what can I do to build bone density without taking all the prescribed medications? Lift heavy weights. Get your protein in. For menopause, perimenopause, and menopausal women, you should be aiming for 1 gram per pound of body weight. They say that, the rule of thumb is 1 gram per pound of ideal body weight, but I would say 1.5 grams per pound of body weight is significant enough for the perimenopause and menopause. Lifting weights also improves your insulin sensitivity, so you're going to get rid of that midsection. It improves your posture and longevity. Like, we want quality of life, right? We want to be able to get up off the toilet. Like, that is a real subject at the gym. People are in there working out. It's an older crowd at our gym, and they are working out so they can get up and down off the toilet by themselves. That is, like, we all want to be independent as we get older, right? Like, that's a real thing. So lift the weights so you are independent as long as possible. So especially as we age, strength training becomes non-negotiable for your health. Mistake number 4, not eating enough protein. You cannot build muscle without the building blocks. Protein provides amino acids that repair and build muscle tissue. Many people work out hard, but they eat very little protein. I was one. I was guilty of it. I was not getting enough protein in for a really long time. And now that is my main objective, is to get my protein in. I weigh 129.1 pounds right now, and I'm probably getting in around 260. I just kind of actually lowered it, and I'm getting more carbohydrates in since I'm trying to bulk a little bit and add some muscle. But get your protein in. You will be amazed at how your body changes. It leads to, many people work out hard, but they eat very little protein, which leads to slow recovery. You're going to have muscle loss. You're going to have fatigue. You're going to have stalled progress. I was one, I'd be fasted. I loved intermittent fasting, but I wasn't putting on muscle. And I would go to the gym without eating breakfast. And I felt like I was doing an okay job. Like, I felt pretty strong. But when I started eating breakfast, I call it my pre-workout meal, before the gym, which is like 3:45, 4 a.m. in the morning. And now I get to the gym and I feel amazing. Like, I had no idea what I was missing out on, because my workouts are so much stronger because I'm getting my protein in, a good clean carbohydrate in, and it's feeding my muscles and the glycogen, and I just feel awesome. A simple rule that I often recommend, again, I want you guys to listen to this, for the women and the men. Ideally, 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. But if you are aging, I would increase that. And someone asked me the other night, they said, what about kidney disease and high protein? Well, all these research studies are emerging saying that is a myth. So if you don't currently have kidney disease, I don't think this is something that you really have to worry about. But again, you cannot manage what you're not measuring, so get your labs done. Check to see if your EGFR is high enough, which is your kidney filtration, your creatinine, your BUN, all these markers checking your kidney function. So if your pee is foamy or smelly or dark, then we might need to readdress how much protein you're getting in, and maybe you're dehydrated. So there's a lot that goes into it. That's why I never really give advice unless we're testing, because everybody's different and there's no one size fits all. So protein supports muscle repair, metabolism, hormone balance. You're going to feel really satisfied through the day and not starving. So I know that, like, if I'm having a heavy leg day and I'm starving in between my meals, I call it my bridge meal, I will do just some egg whites or protein powder. A clean protein powder, if you can find one, is fine. But the more protein, it's going to stabilize your hunger. Food fuels performance. All right, mistake number 5, ignoring recovery. I am guilty of this, because I love to work out every single day, but more workouts are not always better. Progress happens during recovery, not during the workout. And if someone trains hard but never recovers, they may develop chronic fatigue, joint pain, inflammation, stalled progress. But recovery includes quality sleep, which is something I'm working on for 2026, hydration, nutrition, rest days, and mobility work like yoga, stretching, Pilates, things like that, just to get your body moving, even walking. Even like on my rest days now, which are Sunday, I try to do something actively resting, like walking, stretching. I just like to move my body. So just recently I started taking Sundays off, and I kind of did it kicking and screaming. So I'm not judging. I understand it. Sleep is one of the most powerful recovery tools, and I think I'm in week 3 now of taking naps. So I try to take a 30-minute power nap after I come home from the gym in the morning, because I do go so early, and I definitely can feel a difference. When we sleep, the body releases growth hormone and repairs your tissue. Mistake number 6, and I see this all the time at the gym, poor form. Another common mistake is rushing through exercises with poor form. When your form is poor, the wrong muscles activate, joints take stress, injuries occur. I'd rather see someone lift a little bit lighter with perfect form than heavier with sloppy movement. And if you don't know what you're doing in the gym, hire a trainer. Hire a trainer for 4 to 6, 8 weeks. Get used to it. Get comfortable walking around the machines. Know what the free weights do for you. Know what the cables do. It's worth the investment because that knowledge will last you a lifetime and it will keep you injury free. It is well worth it. I want you to focus on controlled motion, proper posture, full range of motion, muscle engagement. And remember, quality matters more than speed. I have this one client. I did open myself up for a little personal training just because I enjoy it and that's my background. So on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I train for like an hour, hour and a half. And I have this lady, and she used to be a like a head nurse maybe over at Ochsner in New Orleans, and so for 30 plus years, she was always rushing around, having to like eat really fast and do everything really fast because she had to get back on the floor. And every time I show her something, she's just like trying to go so fast, and I'm like, slow it down. It doesn't matter how. It does not matter as long as our form is good. I want you to go nice and slow. So just remember, slower the better. Mistake number 7, doing the same workout every day. You got to change it up. I'm like doing old school workouts right now, so I broke it down. I was doing like push-pulls for a while, so I'd have a push day, a pull day, but now I just broke it down old school, how I was taught when I was like 11, 12 years old. I have an arms day, bicep, triceps. I'll do a shoulder day. I'll do a chest day. Hit legs twice a week. So I break it down that way. But you got to change it up and you got to give yourself time to grow. Because once you tear that muscle down, that's when the growth happens. The body adapts very quickly. So if someone performs the exact same workout every day, eventually the body becomes efficient and it stops changing. It's called adaptation. Okay? So to continue progressing, the body needs variation. That includes different exercises, different rep ranges, different training splits, different intensities. Changing stimulus keeps the body growing and adapting. Mistake number 8, not tracking progress. So both of these that I just mentioned, you can, Fitbod is the app. And again, I'm not getting any affiliate promotion, but I just like them a lot. I like the app. It's very user-friendly. But both of them, I'm able to go in there and change. It'll ask me, like today I did arms. And it has the history of my arm workout last week. And it'll say, do you want to change the reps, the weights, and then it will reconfigure everything for me. So I love that part. And then again, tracking the progress and knowing that I'm moving up and not staying stagnant. So many people rely on the scale for like tracking any progress. The scale does not tell the whole story. Someone may lose fat and gain muscle at the same time, and the scale may barely move. I can tell you this. I started not weighing myself March 1st, and I'm in this phase of bulking until June 1st. So I won't step back on the scale until June 1st because I know that I'm working on muscle, and I didn't want to like really get into my head, and I know a lot of you, the scale really bothers you, so that way I don't get in bad moods. If I get mad if if I lose because I'm like, all that muscle that I've been working for, and then I'll get mad if the scale increases because I'm like, is that fat? No, but it's not. It's just the body fluctuates so much that you cannot depend on the scale as your indicator. The best thing that you can do is take out your measuring tape, and I measure the circumference of my waist, and I just make sure that that is pretty much staying the same, and I know that I'm building muscle. And again, I know what I'm putting in my body. You know that you know what you're putting in your body. Remember, abs are made in the kitchen. So better indicators of progress include strength increases, body measurements, how your clothes fit, energy levels, endurance, tracking workouts. It's so helpful. I think they have a free trial on Fitbod. But again, there's quite a few of them. So go on ChatGPT and just ask for like the best workout apps. If you write down weights and reps, you can see the real improvement over time. I'm not much of a pen and paper person, So it's just nice and easy to have my phone there. Mistake number 9, and I am so guilty of this because I don't take time for it. Neglecting mobility. Mobility is often ignored until pain appears, and this is so true, right? I mean, even with like my patients, people don't pay for prevention; they pay when they're sick, and they're like, fix me. Same thing, and I'm guilty of it as well. But good mobility supports joint health, muscle activation, injury prevention. When your muscles are tight, the body compensates. I can tell you, I have started incorporating in. I was like every 2 weeks now, once a month, but muscle therapy, like like a sports massage, and I go to someone, and it is not relaxing at all. I mean, it is brutal, but my body feels amazing the next day, and so I feel like I am working with my mobility is there, but I don't take a lot of time to stretch, and I don't take a lot of time to do yoga or Pilates because my main focus is lifting weights, and there's only so many hours in the day, right? So I completely understand. But if you don't take time for mobility, you will have back pain, you're going to have knee pain, you're going to have shoulder issues. So add mobility work, even if it's 5 minutes a day, like stretching, foam rolling, yoga, dynamic warm-ups. They can dramatically improve your performance. Okay, last one, mistake number 10. Expecting results too quickly. The last mistake is unrealistic expectations. People want transformation in 2 weeks, 1 month, a quick program. This all goes with like New Year's resolutions, and I think that's why a lot of people fall off, is because their expectations are too high and they don't stick with it long enough. And like I feel like I'm in a grind right now because I'm doing the same thing every single day. I go to the gym, I come home, I make 8 meals a day, but I know the consistency will pay off. So that's the thing that you got to think about. Rome wasn't built in a day. You're not going to change your body in a day. If you have a lot of weight to lose, you didn't gain it overnight, you're not going to lose it overnight. It's just part of it. And if you've been neglecting the weights, muscle's not going to happen overnight. And I have to remind myself that because I want it like right now. We live in that society. We want it right now, that instant gratification. And it's just not going to happen. So you just have a mindset, enjoy the journey, and real change takes consistency. Muscle growth, fat loss, metabolic health, it develops over months and years, not days. The most successful people focus on building sustainable habits. Consistency beats intensity. Small actions done daily create massive change over time. So, if your workouts feel frustrating, ask yourself, am I making one of these mistakes? To recap the biggest ones: too much cardio, not lifting heavy enough, avoiding strength training, not eating enough protein, ignoring recovery, poor form, doing the same workout repeatedly, not tracking your progress, neglecting mobility, and expecting results too quickly. The good news is that every one of these mistakes, they're fixable. And when people train smart, fuel their body, and stay consistent, the body is incredibly capable of change. Believe me, I know this. Strength, energy, and vitality are not just for the young. They are built through intentional daily habits, and there is no reason why at any age you cannot be thriving. And when you build muscle, you are not just building a better physique, you are building a longer, stronger, healthier life. Hope this was helpful. Again, if you guys have any questions, email me, Cindy at drcindyross.com. You can always get in touch with me by calling 251-635-7477. Hope you guys have a fantastic rest of the week and a great weekend as we are approaching spring. All right, talk to you soon. Bye-bye.